If you are getting ready for a hike with a lot of elevation gain, or one where you're wearing a heavy overnight pack, you might have gotten the advice to just walk a lot in preparation for your trip. Now, while walking is a very important part of being ready for any kind of long distance or overnight hike, there's an often overlooked aspect of training that you can use to be less sore and have more fun on your next adventure. So today, I'm gonna let you in on the 2 phases we use here at WILDR to get folks ready for hikes. And these hikes range from someone's first hike outdoors to hiking something like the Tour de Mont Blanc. Now, the reason I'm making this video is because I had a client, let's call her Agatha, and she was walking up to 4 hours a day to get ready for this big hike she had coming up in the summer. But every time she took that walking to actual hiking trails or mountains with high elevation gain, she'd find that her quads were so sore she could hardly walk after. When we tweaked her training, she felt not only more stable on these rocky, steep slopes, but she also was less sore at the end of her hikes. And I won't lie, she was actually pretty resistant at first to making these changes. So we talked it out together, and I acknowledged that hiking is about endurance. We do want to have a strong heart, big lungs, and the ability to take that oxygen to everywhere in our body. But in order to have endurance in each individual muscle, you need to have a base to build that endurance on top of. I used a rep chart to explain this to her, so I'm gonna show it to you now. You see, the amount of weight that you can lift 10 times or 20 times or 1,500 times when you're out hiking is going to be relative to the total max amount of weight you can lift. And now, while I'm not recommending you go and set some 1-rep maxes for step-ups or deadlifts or back squats to be ready for hiking, I am saying that dedicating some time to building up the strength of your muscles, tendons, ligaments, and bones is gonna make every single step of your hike easier, especially if you're putting a heavy backpack on to do an overnight trip. Once Agatha built a foundation of strength first, she found that she could do her hikes easier and she was less sore afterwards. And as she trained, we made her workouts progressively harder by adding weight or increasing the range of motion she was going through to make sure that we were still asking her body to make her stronger as she kept on working out. So you might be saying, that's great, I'm on board, let's build some strength. How do you do it? Well, in our 8-week program, we start with doing these compound lifts, so lifts that use multiple joints working at once through 6 to 8 reps at a time. And as the weeks go on, we really focus on increasing our strength through our range of motion. So as our ability increases, we increase the depth of movements or the height of our step-ups. We do things to continually make the workouts more demanding. And at the same time, we're giving ourselves enough rest between sets that we're fully recovered and able to do the same number of reps again. But that's not where it ends, because once we build strength, we want to build muscular endurance. So how do you do that? Well, again, 4 hours of walking outside is really good at building up your cardiovascular endurance, but it takes something a little bit different to build up muscular endurance. And this muscular endurance is gonna help you keep your hips stable on rocky terrain after hours of side hilling, or it's gonna help your knees feel great when you're going down a steep decline at the end of the day. So in this second phase, what you wanna do is increase the number of reps per set and reduce the rest. We even do these combos in the Hike Ready program where we start with a compound movement and then do an isolation exercise that works the same muscle. These kind of workouts are going to make you feel the burn, and they're also going to be really short and effective. By building strength in the muscles that surround the hip joint, for instance, you're going to be protecting your knees because you're going to be sharing the strength load between the muscles that surround the hips and knees for the duration of your hike. Now, these 2 training blocks are part of our Adventure Ready model of training, a system that I developed by taking what I learned in university about strength and conditioning and applying it to my life, where I love skiing and hiking and climbing and biking and just generally enjoying a whole bunch of different activities that help me squeeze more joy out of life. Because I think our time in the gym should add to our life outside of it, whether that's exploring the world around you or helping a friend move a couch when they move out of their apartment. But I can hear you. asking, okay, now that I know the system, what exercises do I actually do? A good starting point is to check out this video that I'll link somewhere around here about my top 6 exercises for hike-ready training. But if you want me to do the thinking and planning and for you to be able to focus on just executing the workouts, then you should get on the wait list for our 8-week hike-ready program. Now, in the comment box below, tell me what you are training for. I absolutely love learning what people are prepping for, and I hope you have a wilder week.